It reminds me of Shane Gillis, a comedian that had this one special. It was really funny about how the best kind of dads are Fox News dads, and he's talking about his dad just watching Fox News every night, and he says his dad watches Fox News every night until he can't. He watches until he's so angry at the TV that he has to turn it off and go to bed. It's like masochism.
That's so fucked up. Fuck, what's his name again?
Billie Joe Armstrong.
Got it.
Oh, wake me up when September ends.
No, don't ruin this. What is Chiefin, my dudes? Someone tell Billie Joe Armstrong that he needs to go on hibernation for the next month. Because it's September, folks. Are you excited? Because I don't really care.
Dude, how'd you pull that crazy Billie Joe Armstrong reference out of your ass? That's impressive.
I just know names really well. As you know me, names and dates are my favorite.
Name my favorite president.
Taft.
Willard Fillmore.
Why did I not guess that? If you are listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, on not Simplecast. What's the other one?
It's the biggest audio network in the world. Spotify.
Believe it or not, I don't use it.
Honestly, kind of crazy. You pulled Billie Joe Armstrong, but you don't know the Spotify.
I told you, man. Names and dates.
You walking around listening to Green Day on a Walkman still?
Yeah, I freaking bumped that shit. It sucks though, because my Duracell batteries don't last very long, so I gotta keep changing them every couple of days.
Yeah, it also sucks because they made it with a coating that doesn't taste good anymore.
What?
They actually did that. They made batteries taste bad, so babies spit them out if they
Oh,
ingest
that's
them.
awesome. I didn't know that. I know that if you lick a 9-volt battery, it'll shock your tongue, which I never did it because I'm like, why would I want that? No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I learned to not lick a lot of things.
Yeesh. Maybe we should talk about that alone. Like maybe when we're not releasing this to the world.
Well, I'm not going to list them off.
Oh, that's smart.
I'll tell you the number one thing. Millard Fillmore.
Millard Fillmore. You got to stop licking him, man. He's been dead for years. No more dead body licking.
Tastes like a fucking Duracell.
Yeah, if you're listening on, oh my god, I forgot it again.
Spotify,
Apple Music, or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for your support. We love you. We want you to give us more comments and tell us what else you'd like to hear. That would be fan-freaking-tastic. But I do need to tell you a quick joke because that's the way I love to start off these podcasts.
Let's hear it.
A man walks into a library and he walks up to the librarian and he says, "Hey, do you know where the books are for paranoia?" And she goes, "They're right behind you."
That's awesome.
That would be so fucking scary.
It's so funny. Then he turns around
and he's like, just slowly, like,
it's just like 3 books on the floor.
Not even on the shelf, just on the floor.
Oh, that's awesome.
Speaking of scary stuff, I have some news. The podcast that I did where I was, like a crooked cop or like a bad cop, that's being released starting next week. It's called
Dope.
Strange Trails. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'm only on one episode. I think I'm on episode like 8.
Oh.
Which is funny because I like I said, I didn't know I was playing a racist cop when I did the audition until I got there and said the line, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Did you say really the N-word, Daniel?
No. Yeah. I didn't know that was racist. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I thought it was a black cop. I didn't know.
I had no idea.
That's so fucking funny. Wait, I'm white?
Because it's all audio. You wouldn't be able to see me, so it's like, oh, you could be.
What's it called? I'm setting a reminder. Strange Times?
Strange Trails.
Strange Trails.
Yeah, I believe it comes out next week. It start like each episode's like once a week,
All
and
right.
I think I'm on the 8th episode, so it's around Halloween time that I'll be on there. But yeah, it looks pretty good so far. I watched the little teaser trailer. They just showed it on Instagram. It's pretty dope.
Wait. So that you watched a trailer for an audio podcast story?
Yes, they made a trailer, I think, just for social media. Just so that you could like get people hyped for it,
Strain. Who's a podcast network that's putting it out?
I don't know that they have. I don't think that he made a.
On September 27th.
That's the one. Yeah, you're watching it right now.
Oh, they have a video with it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check it out. We'll link to it in the show. 2 LA natives travel to West Virginia and investigate a local legend known as the racist cop. Based
Dude, so this is the line. I didn't realize it. I was just being an angry cop. He's like, just be, kind of like more angry and kind of evil. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. No problem. Yeah, whatever. So I do the audition. He's like, perfect. Love it. Come down to LA, record with us. So I get there, and then one of the lines that I have to deliver is, why don't you get the fuck out of here and go back to where you came from? Now, I was thinking that they meant like came from as in like the town, like go back to your town. You're not supposed to be here because they're outsiders from the town, But then I get there and it's, I'm saying it to a black guy, and I'm like, oh, this sounds racist. And I like look to the guy recording, and I'm like, is this racist? And he's like, yeah, you didn't pick up on that? I'm like, no, I'm not at all.
Honestly, that's kind of fucked up. They didn't tell you that beforehand.
Well, I did the audition. Like, what I said was exactly what I did for the
I know, but like,
so it wasn't...
the direction should have been, hey, you're a racist cop. Deliver this line like a racist cop. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. It's not like he's like in your face. Like, I didn't, like you said, I didn't say the N-word or anything. I didn't say like any racial slurs, but I definitely said, something that could be portrayed as a racist. And I'm like, oh gosh. Eesh. Oh, and then also some more news that I have. I just got a book deal for reading an audiobook.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's
Mein Kampf?
Loki. Yeah, Mein Kampf.
You just get all these fucking racist deals.
No, it's Loki, like the tale of Loki and his wife. So I get to do like a Loki impression.
Marvel?
Yeah. No, well, I mean it's Norse mythology, but it's Loki from the universe.
Are you using inspiration of Benedict Nope. What's his name? Whoever. Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you using that inspo?
Yeah, I did like an impression of him on the book. So for the audition, at least, I haven't started
That's
it yet.
sick.
I'm supposed to. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and then there's a bunch of other like accents and stuff. Like I have to do Thor, Odin, Loki. There's a couple of girls mixed in there, which should be interesting because I have to do that as well.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah. There's a bunch of different accents. The whole book, I'm not doing my normal voice at all. Like it's only
that's
accents
tough.
And impressions. I'm pretty stoked about it though.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you know how long of like a read it is? Like how?
So they give you like a guesstimation. It's 300 pages about, but it's gonna be around 9.7 hours. So it should be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yup. So I was supposed to start today, but I got distracted. So tomorrow.
I got some news.
What's the news?
There was a shooting here yesterday.
Yikes. That's it. You're out, dude. Go back to California.
It's nothing funny about it. Did you hear it? It got picked up like nationally.
Oh, you were serious? Oh, I thought you were just joking. I'm sorry.
Someone shot up a Safeway. Probably one that you've been in since being up here.
Was anyone killed or hurt or injured or anything?
2 people killed, and then the gunman killed himself in the store.
Dude, why? Was there a reason or no?
Yeah, the couple lessons I learned from this. One, the world's just fucked. I'll share my second lesson after. But the rounds went around on social media sharing. This guy like wrote a manifesto. He was talking about this since like the end of June, writing about it like on some like anonymous kind of blog. And then right before he did it, he shared it to his Instagram. But the fucked up thing and the scary thing to think about is he was planning on doing it once school started back here. Like he wrote that in there, and then just randomly 2 days ago he wrote, I can't wait anymore, I'm just gonna do it now. And he went to a Safeway. Like how fucking eerie is that?
That's I don't understand the mindset. How can you take someone else's life unless it's like self-defense or in like a war? I don't
know. Like his rationale behind it too, what he wrote was like, I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not doing this for any reason. I just don't want to live, and I want to go out like guns blazing. Was like his mindset, which is just fucking so
then
like
join the military then. Like do that,
or just off yourself. I know you mental
or that,
disorder. Dude obviously needed help, but like Oh, but the second lesson I learned from this is Facebook is crazy. And I'm glad I'm not on Facebook anymore because I was trying to keep up with like news as it was happening because it wasn't being covered. But there was just a bunch of people in Bend like commenting and speculating. And it's just these, like the people that comment, we kind of see it with Chiefin too, right? It's like the Logan mentioned it too. It's like she said, I would never just comment something mean to someone. Like that's so wild. But
dude, there are so many people that comment mean stuff.
Yeah.
Someone the other day was like, "Oh, dude, your whole profile is racist. I can't wait for this to ruin your guys' lives."
Yeah, like what, dude?
I'm like, hang on a second. No, none of this is racist. I mean, I get the whole like, okay, what was it? Not the Chiefs, but the
Drew Barrymore in Native American garb.
Yeah, but then like Chiefin, but Chiefin is, we say it as like a positive thing. It's not like, oh damn those damn Chiefs. It's not like we're saying it in a negative connotation. It's like, this better be Chiefin. Like,
yeah,
cool. Or like, oh dude, this place is freaking Chiefin, like awesome. Or
our podcast name isn't Redskins Talk. Like we're not saying anything derogatory towards those. But yeah, just that idea of just people just randomly just firing off negative comments. It's crazy. And like I manage a bunch of different social pages and shit. And that's like the default emotion for a lot of people is just negative. It's weird. Mm-hmm. It's like, I feel like I never do that. I rarely comment on anything. But to just on a random person's video or Instagram to just fire that off. And then the people when this happened just going hog wild on Facebook was nuts.
What I don't like is when you're reading through some of the comments and the comments sound very confident and convincing, and it's like, oh yeah, he did it because of these reasons and this reason and this reason and this reason, and then it's like at the end it's like, so I think, and you're like, really? Like you made me think the entire way that you knew what you were talking about until you're like, oh, or they start by the way, it's an opinion.
Yeah, or they start with I heard, and then it's like a statement. Yeah. Like, what do you? Who? No one's asking you. Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, because everyone wants to be involved. They all want like a piece of the pie. They're like, yeah, I'm involved in this. I started this, or I know. Knew it first.
It kind of just turned my stomach. Like the whole thing happening itself turned my stomach. But then like seeing that, just like people fucking like, and people are like, what's his name? Like how many people are dead? It's like they're just like, it's fucking not torture porn, but it was like just weird obsession with what was going on.
Yeah, they all want to like be the first one to know about something. Like if I hear a new band, I love to share it to someone else and be like, yeah. And then when they hear it later and they're like, oh yeah, you hear the new song by them? I'm like, yeah, that's right. I turned you on to this thing. But like with news, it's weird that people want to be the first to hear about bad news or to know about something bad. Like why? What is that? What do you gain from that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It reminds me of Shane Gillis, a comedian that had this one special. It was really funny about how the best kind of dads are Fox News dads, and he's talking about his dad just watching Fox News every night, and he says his dad watches Fox News every night until he can't. He watches until he's so angry at the TV that he has to turn it off and go to bed. It's like masochism.
That's so fucked
up. But that segment, I wanted to segment this into something that I thought would be a fun game because there's been a lot of stuff that's happened over the last few weeks. I think it's very important to have well thought out and articulate responses to these very complex and difficult situations that occur in our society. So let's play a fun game where I give you a prompt and you give me the first word that comes to mind.
Okay.
Roe v. Wade.
Court case.
So 2 words.
Okay, courtroom. Sorry.
Okay. Andrew Tate.
Gun.
Really? Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Isn't that the guy that... No. I'm thinking... That's the bald guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bald. Who's the one that shot up that... He was like protecting a storefront.
No idea.
I can't remember his name. But I thought it was like something similar to Andrew Tate.
Guns again, on the guys, record.
This is the... This is the podcast where Daniel knows all the names and all
like,
the dates.
Andrew Tate's kind of like the biggest guy on the internet the past month. It's wild.
Dude, he's horrible. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why he's so popular.
He's
like, yeah, man, I put women in their place. I rape them. Who cares? I'm like, what the what? And he's okay? Like,
it's like scary that he had the influence he has because he's playing a grift. Like he knows that he's It's I talked about this with my buddy. It's just a great way to make a lot of money fast. Is saying these really outlandish things are gonna excite your audience and enrage the other audience, whether or not you believe it or not. It's gonna catapult you. And to him, he flamed out fast, right? He's literally banned across the internet. There's a handful of other people that I know that have been banned in this way. Like Trump is just banned on Twitter. I think he still is I think he still could do Instagram, but Tate's off of TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Wild.
Bad. It's bad how much power he had.
Well, it's also bad just how stupid people are. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But they're kids. He's talking to fucking 13, 14-year-olds.
True. Okay, what's the next one?
Trump raid.
Hilarious. Oh, you said raid. I'm so sorry. I thought you said rant. Okay, I meant his rants are hilarious. And he's like,
Trump,
trust me, I have the biggest hands everywhere.
They are hilarious.
Bigger hands than me. They are giant, huge. Not so. The raid, not hilarious. Sorry.
There's 2 words still.
No. I'm saying it's not hilarious. I'm saying that's not the word I meant to use.
Dude, you're so bad at this
Trump,
game.
I'm so good at this game.
Your
dude.
first answer was 2 words. Your second one, you didn't know who the guy was.
I was confident though, and that's what gets you far.
You've been confident on every single one of them. That's true.
Okay, so Trump raid, embarrassing.
Yeah, that's good. Artificial intelligence.
I just think of the movie, so I guess movie.
Huh, okay.
I do like those memes though. The memes that you do from those things, those are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they're so cool. I listened to, H3, the guys that used to make YouTube videos. They do a podcast, and they had on a former Google AI engineer. Him talking about it was wild.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that segment, just a small segment of what he was talking about. And he's like, I've told them multiple times, it's not a good idea. It's like got consciousness, and it knows that it's a robot, and it doesn't want to be unplugged. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's weird because the whole idea of it is for it to like go beyond the bounds that someone could place in front of them, but they're trying to control it. So like it makes no sense.
But the thing is though, if the robot says it doesn't want to be turned off, and then eventually, we're thinking about turning it off, just shut it off immediately.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're thinking about doing it, that robot is now going to think of a way to prevent you from turning it off, and that's how Terminator starts, dude. That is how it starts. We all die because of a freaking robot.
Luckily, we'll be dead by then, I think.
Can I change my answer from movie to Terminator?
Yeah, that's
just
better.
do another movie.
All right, that was all my prompts.
Okay, well, what were your answers for those?
Oh, I don't know. Andrew Tate, crazy. Trump raid, funny. I think it's funny. Like it's just crazy that the president got raided by the FBI. What was the other one? AI, scary. I think I'd say. Roe v. Wade, I'd also say crazy.
That's bad stuff, dude. Like the fact that you're not allowed to have your own choice.
Yeah, it's
like
wild.
I'm not saying, oh, let's kill some babies, man. But like there are circumstances where either the baby and the mom will both die if you don't have an abortion, where you could save one of them rather than none of them. Or, you have someone that got raped and now they have a kid and they have to just stick with that kid for the rest of their life from a night that's going to haunt them forever. And now they're going to see that person in that kid's eyes every single day. I can't imagine. That would be horrible.
That's like torture.
And then also like some people that's like, I just can't raise a kid, and it would give the kid a terrible life.
Yeah, man. I just always go back to this one like thought of like, it's okay if you don't want it to be a thing, then don't do it. Like it's so wild for me to think that I should control what someone like in North Dakota is gonna do with their like. I'm never gonna meet this. Why do I give a fuck? Like it's crazy.
There's a Bill Burr skit on that, and it's really fucking funny. He's like, I trust that you should be able to do what you want to do, okay? But at the end of the day, I still think, well, you're still killing a fucking baby, okay? And then you got people on one end saying, but it's not a baby. And he's like, well, it fucking would have been. Like, if you gave it 9 months, it would have been. Yeah. And it's like if I were to make myself a birthday cake, right? And I was about to put it in the oven, and you just smack it, and it splashes all over the floor. And I say, you just ruined my fucking cake. And he goes, no, That wasn't a cake yet. He goes, well, it would have been if you
That's
was given
true.
it.
It's not a cake.
I was like,
awesome.
okay, like, I mean, that's funny, dude. Like, it was really, really well thought out.
Yeah.
But I side with both ways, or I side both sides. And that's why I say it should be pro-choice, because you have to live with the idea of, okay, I am ending a life that's not a life yet, or I'm ending a life that is a life. It's
yeah,
all
exactly, dude.
what you
Like
believe in,
for you
really.
to like make someone keep it and then have no like, why do you're not gonna support the kid? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And you knowing, okay, I'm going to give it a very bad life. Like, I can't support it. I can't even support myself right now. Then that's just, I feel like that's kind of selfish, honestly, because you're like, I don't want to have that weight of ending a life before a life, but at the same time, I can't support this life.
Yeah, that is fucked, because then that kid's gonna be fucked, most likely.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, miracles happen and they're not, but
Yeah, like Millard Fillmore.
Millard Fillmore, what a great president.
Mother almost aborted him.
Did you see that? There was a meme. It said, "My kid would have been 1 year today if I hadn't got that Plan B pill."
Was it like a party?
Yeah, it was like a fucking party, dude.
That was awesome. I have one more thought that dawned on me. It was just
Okay.
random the other day, and I had to write it down. The Game of Life, the board game, it's kind of fucked up. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't you winning at the end having the most money?
Yeah, it
And-
is.
and we're
you have the most
teaching-
money and retiring like in a big estate.
And we're teaching this to like little kids.
Mm-hmm.
And like you get perks for like getting married and having a kid. And
Yeah,
going.
you get like a life tile.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. That it's like propaganda, dude. Like
It's kind of not. Grooming is a different word, but
it's propaganda. It's like mind.
it's similar. It's similar to grooming, because it's like you're teaching them like, hey, this is how you should live your life.
Yeah,
if you want to. Be
you win the
successful.
game if you do all these steps, and you lose if you
Exactly.
don't.
But here's the thing. I learned at a very young age that I should have a crappy house in that game because it's cheaper and I can buy more stuff later. So I was like praying for like the cracked house that was like, please, 30,000, dude, 30,000, please,
30,000.
for this fault line house.
That'd be a really crap house right now.
Yeah. Oh, you heard that my sister, she got her money back from that crack house next door, right? Like,
Yeah, I messaged
buy
her
the
on
house.
Instagram about that when she's like, lesson learned. I was like, what the fuck happened? And she told me, I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
wild. What
yeah,
city was it in?
It was in not Huntington, Costa Mesa.
Costa
They were
Mesa?
gonna buy a house, and they went and visited the house, and there was literally like a guy that like let homeless people into his house and was probably selling drugs and doing drug deals and stuff. And even the homeowners association people were like, we always have problems with this guy.
Was it an HOA?
I think so, yeah. Like,
That's
and they were like,
insane.
they're like, don't buy this house. Like, the neighbors said that, and he's like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, we hate this guy. We want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Damn, did they
So-
know? Did they know how long, or did Hope know how long the current homeowners had owned it? Were they there for a while, or were they there like
didn't
6
know.
months and trying to flip it already?
I don't know. I have no idea how long they were there for. All I know is they spent $20,000 as a down payment and then got 19,000 of it back. So
Yeah.
definitely good.
So
there you go.
crazy.
If you learn anything from this podcast, it's that I am very good with names and dates, and you should always check the neighbors before you buy a house. And Millard Fillmore is the best president.
That's true. And Spotify is not used by Daniel.
All right, guys, use Spotify, praise Millard Fillmore, and stay away from crack houses.
Those
From
are
all of
our-
us here, Chiefin,
Keep it cheap.
keep it cheapin'.